That rusted pickup truck sitting in your neighbor's driveway? It might be worth more than your brand new car. Some classic trucks are selling for six figures while you're still making payments on something that loses value every day. What if I told you that the pickup truck world has been completely turned upside down? While most cars become worthless the moment you drive them off the lot, certain classic pickups have become gold mines on wheels. We're talking about trucks that cost less than $5,000 when they were new, now selling for more than a luxury car. Today, I'm counting down 15 classic pickup trucks that are worth serious money, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which ones to look for and why they're commanding these crazy prices. Before we dive in, here's something wild. Only 1.5% of people watching this channel are actually subscribed. If you find this content helpful, hitting that subscribe button really helps me get monetized and keep bringing you these deep dives into automotive history. Let's start with our countdown. Number 15, the 1978 to 1979 Ford F-150 Ranger XLT. The late 70s F-150 might seem like an odd choice to start with, but hear me out. These trucks represent the end of an era before emissions regulations really started choking engines. The 460 big block V8 option made these things absolute monsters, and finding one in good condition today is like striking oil. A decent example will run you around $35,000 to $40,000 now. That's more than many brand new economy cars. The reason? These trucks were workhorses that got beaten to death. Most ended up in junkyards decades ago. The few survivors, especially the Ranger XLT trim with its fancy interior and chrome bumpers, have become collector gold. Number 14, the 1967 to 1972 Chevrolet C/K series. Now we're getting into serious territory. The second-generation C/K trucks are absolutely iconic, and the market has taken notice. These trucks define what a pickup should look like with those clean lines and that perfect stance. A restored 1972 C10 with a big block 454 engine recently sold at auction for $68,000. But here's the thing, even rough examples are expensive now. A project truck that needs everything will still cost you 15 to 20 grand just to get started. The math is simple. Chevrolet sold a ton of these trucks, but most people used them until they fell apart. Clean survivors are rare, and rare means expensive. Number 13, the 1953 to 1956 Ford F-150. The F-150 was Ford's answer to everyone who said trucks had to be ugly and uncomfortable. With its rounded fenders and car-like comfort, it changed everything. These trucks started the whole custom truck movement that we still see today. A number-matching 1956 F-150 with the Y-block V8 will easily run you $50,000 or more. The thing is, these trucks have serious street cred in the hot rod community. Everyone from teenagers to millionaire collectors wants one, and that demand keeps pushing prices through the roof. Number 12, the 1973 to 1987 Chevrolet C10 Square Body. Here's where things get interesting. The square body C10 was everywhere in the 80s and 90s. You couldn't drive down any street without seeing 3 or 4 of them. Fast forward to today, and clean examples are selling for $40,000 to $60,000. Why? Simple. These trucks hit the sweet spot of being old enough to be cool, but new enough to actually drive daily. Plus, the aftermarket support is incredible. You can build a square body C10 exactly how you want it, from mild to wild. A pristine 1987 Silverado with low miles recently sold for $72,000. That's Corvette money for a pickup truck. Number 11, the 1955 to 1959 Chevrolet Task Force series. The Task Force trucks were Chevy's first attempt at making trucks that looked good and worked hard. With their wraparound windshield and sleek design, they looked more like cars than trucks. That was exactly the point. These trucks are absolute money pits if you're buying them as investments. A restored 1957 Cameo Carrier, that's the fancy two-tone version, sold last year for $85,000. Even regular step-side models in good condition are hitting the $40,000 to $50,000 range consistently. Number 10, the 1978 to 1979 Dodge Lil Red Express. Now we're talking about something special. The Lil Red Express was Dodge's answer to the performance truck market, and it was absolutely insane. With its chrome exhaust stacks, wood bed rails, and Warlock wheels, it looked like something out of a cartoon. But under the hood was a 360 small block that made it genuinely quick. Dodge only made these for 2 years, and finding a good one today will cost you serious money. Clean examples are selling for $60,000 to $80,000. The crazy part? When these trucks were new, they were faster than most Corvettes of the same era. Emissions regulations killed performance cars, but somehow this truck slipped through the cracks. Number 9. The 1960 to 1966 Chevrolet C10. The first-generation C10 is where Chevrolet really figured out how to make trucks that people actually wanted to own instead of just use for work. These trucks had style, comfort, and enough performance options to keep things interesting. A numbers-matching 1966 C10 with a 327 small block recently sold at Barrett-Jackson for $92,000. That's not even a rare truck. That's just a clean, well-optioned example. The market for these trucks has gone completely crazy, and there's no sign of it slowing down. Number 8. The 1948 to 1952 Ford F-150. The F-150 was Ford's first real attempt at building a modern pickup truck, and it shows. These trucks were light years ahead of anything else on the market in terms of comfort and reliability. They also happen to look fantastic, with clean lines that still look good today. Finding a good F-150 is getting harder every year. Most were worked to death and scrapped decades ago. The survivors are now commanding serious money. A restored 1950 F-150 with a flathead V8 sold recently for $78,000. That's for a truck that cost less than $1,500 when it was new. Number 7. The 1947 to 1953 Chevrolet Advanced Design. These trucks represent a turning point in pickup truck history. Chevrolet completely redesigned everything. The cab was bigger, the ride was smoother, and they actually looked good. The advanced design trucks were so successful that Chevrolet kept the basic design for almost 7 years. The market has been kind to these trucks. A pristine 1950 330-100 with a Thrift Master inline-6 engine sold at auction for $84,000. Even project trucks are expensive now. You'll pay $20,000 to $30,000 just for something that needs a complete restoration. Number 6. The 1961 to 1971 Ford Econoline pickup. Here's a curveball for you. The Econoline pickup was Ford's weird experiment in forward control trucks. With the engine between the front seats and a cab that looked like a van, it was definitely different. Different has become very expensive. These trucks were never popular when they were new, which means almost nobody saved them. Now that mid-century modern design is cool again, everyone wants an Econoline pickup. A restored 1965 Econoline with a 170 inline-6 recently sold for $65,000. For a truck that most people thought was ugly when it was new, that's incredible money. Number 5. The 1967 to 1972 GMC Sierra Grande. The Sierra Grande was GMC's luxury pickup truck before luxury pickup trucks were really a thing. With its wood grain trim, plush interior, and chrome everything, it was basically a Cadillac with a bed. Today, collectors are paying Cadillac prices for clean examples. A 1972 Sierra Grande with a 454 big block and all the options recently sold for $98,000. That's almost 6 figures for a pickup truck. The crazy part is that GMC didn't make that many of these trucks compared to regular models, so finding one in good condition is like winning the lottery. Number 4. The 1956 to 1957 Chevrolet Cameo Carrier. The Cameo Carrier was Chevrolet's first attempt at a truly stylish pickup truck. With its fiberglass bed sides, two-tone paint, and car-like interior, it was unlike anything else on the market. It was also expensive when it was new, which means not many people bought them. Today, a good Cameo Carrier is worth serious money. A numbers-matching 1957 with a 283 small block recently sold for $112,000. That's more than most luxury cars cost today. The problem is finding one. Chevrolet only made about 13,000 of these trucks total over 2 years. Number 3. The 1978 to 1979 Dodge Warlock. The Warlock was Dodge's answer to Ford's freewheelin' package and Chevrolet's stepside trucks. With its bold graphics, chrome wheels, and performance options, it was exactly what young truck buyers wanted. The problem was that young truck buyers typically used their trucks hard and didn't take care of them. Today, finding a good Warlock is incredibly difficult. Most were modified, crashed, or just worn out. Clean, original examples are selling for $80,000 to $120,000. That might seem crazy for a Dodge pickup, but remember, these trucks are genuinely rare now. Number 2. The 1975 to 1979 Ford F-150 SuperCab. The SuperCab F-150 was Ford's first real crew cab pickup truck, and it changed everything. Before this truck, if you needed to haul people and stuff, you had to choose between a car and a truck. The SuperCab let you do both, and it looked good doing it. Clean examples are becoming investment-grade vehicles. A 1979 F-150 SuperCab with a 460 big block and low miles recently sold at auction for $108,000. That's serious money, but these trucks represent the end of the muscle truck era. After 1979, emissions regulations and fuel economy standards changed everything. Number 1. The 1969 Chevrolet CST/10. Taking the top spot is something that might surprise you. The 1969 CST/10 isn't the rarest truck on this list, and it's not the most powerful. But it represents the absolute peak of 60s truck design and performance. With its aggressive stance, powerful engine options, and perfect proportions, it's everything a classic pickup should be. The market agrees. A numbers-matching 1969 CST/10 with the L78-390 big block recently sold for $135,000. That's more than most people's houses cost just a few decades ago. But here's why it makes sense. This truck represents peak classic truck. It has the looks, the performance, and the rarity that collectors demand. The crazy part about all these trucks? Most of them were considered worthless just 20 years ago. Old pickups were something you drove until they fell apart, then you bought another one. Nobody was saving them, nobody was restoring them, and nobody was treating them like collectibles. But something changed. Maybe it was nostalgia for simpler times, or maybe people finally realized that these trucks were actually pretty cool. Whatever the reason, the classic truck market has exploded, and values have gone through the roof. Here's what's driving these crazy prices. First, scarcity. Most of these trucks were worked to death and scrapped decades ago. The survivors are genuinely rare, especially in good condition.
Second, demand.
Baby boomers who grew up with these trucks have money now, and they want to relive their youth. Younger collectors are drawn to the simple, honest design of these trucks. Third, usability. Unlike classic cars that spend most of their time in garages, these trucks can actually be driven and enjoyed. The market shows no signs of slowing down. If anything, prices are accelerating. Clean examples of desirable trucks are becoming harder to find every year, and that's pushing prices even higher. The trucks that were selling for $20,000 5 years ago are now selling for $40,000 or $50,000. Should you buy one as an investment? That's a tough question. The classic car market can be unpredictable, and there's always the risk that values could drop. But if you buy the right truck, something rare, desirable, and in good condition, history suggests you'll probably do okay. The key is buying the best example you can afford. A pristine, numbers-matching truck with documentation will always be more valuable than a modified project. Original paint, original interior, and original drivetrain command the highest prices. But here's the most important thing. Buy a truck you actually want to own. These aren't just investments. They're pieces of automotive history that you can actually drive and enjoy. There's something special about cruising down the highway in a truck that was built when craftsmanship actually meant something. The classic pickup truck market has completely changed the game, and these 15 trucks prove it. From affordable work trucks to six-figure collectibles, the transformation has been incredible to watch. Whether you're a collector, an investor, or just someone who appreciates good design, These trucks represent the best of American automotive history. If this video helped you understand why these classic pickups are worth more than new cars, check out our next video about muscle cars that are still affordable.